1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and welcome back to the TMCJ podcast. We are here today with a special Halloween edition.
Ooh,
spooky!
Spookums!
Actually, on that subject, the subject of the word spooky, I've been playing this trivia game with coworkers for a few months now. We do this like Friday afternoon trivia thing, just like a team building thing.
Right.
The app that we use, like sometimes when we're doing like a quiz, we'll just do like silly names associated with whatever the quiz is. We've been doing Halloween themed ones for 2 weeks, and whenever you put the word spooky in your name, it censors it.
What? Is it like online? No, you said it was an app.
It was an app, and we can't figure out why. Like, is spooky?
There's the word poo in it, probably.
Oh my god, it can't be that, can it?
I've seen stupider things.
I've been looking around for like weeks now, trying to figure out how the word spooky is offensive.
Yeah.
If it's just because the word poo is in it.
Maybe, like, spook is a derogatory word for a cop, isn't it?
Is it? I thought spooks were like spies.
Maybe. Hang on, I'll look this up while you waffle.
Anyway, so this is a very, as we said in the intro, a very special Halloween episode, and special in, well, pretty much other than the theme, the upload schedule, because this podcast is going to be going up today, the day we record it, Halloween, All Hallows Eve, the first day of Dia de los Muertos. So we've tailored everything during the podcast to this Halloween theme. We've got some Halloween-themed topics, Halloween-themed media segment, and then Blue has something special in mind for segment 3, which he has not disclosed to me.
Spooky!
But he did tell me to...
oh, Jesus.
What?
Okay.
Is it something we can say on the podcast?
No.
Okay, I'll have to. I'll look it up, or you can send me a link later. Okay, so apparently, even spooky is offensive somehow.
No. Spooky. Okay, so spook is attested from the 1940s is a word for a black person.
What?
Apparently.
Spook. Really?
Yep. Yeah, I don't really get it. But
I feel like
I don't know.
You can make everything offensive. All right, well that's that problem solved.
So yeah, I'm just gonna. So you keep rapping.
Why are you still googling?
It's because this is what I saw before. I was scrolling down through a list of slurs, and this one jumped out at me a bit.
Oh my god!
And I wasn't ready for it. You're
not
allowed to say it out loud though.
The podcast is that one I knew. The podcast is 3 minutes in, and we're already here.
Oh god, that is terrible. Anyway, yes, Halloween.
All right,
Halloween.
Let's just jump right into the first topic because I want to get away from this as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Still want to get into that.
This was a topic that we actually started discussing during the week, and as we do with a couple things now, we were like, wait, no, this is perfect podcast material. Let's wait to talk about it. We're talking about horror movies versus horror games, like which ones actually mess with you and scare them. And I was opening up by saying that when I play, like, I'm not a fan of horror games. I don't play them because they fuck with me. If I play horror movies, I'm fine with. I typically find horror movies either boring, funny, or, well, that pretty much sums it up. Boring or funny. They don't scare me. They don't bother me. I might jump if something pops out on the screen and there's a loud noise, but that's just because you threw a loud noise in my face. But they don't scare me. Games, on the other hand, when I'm playing horror games, they really get under, especially like psychological horror games where they have this atmospheric build-up and stuff. Those will actually get under my skin. So that's what opened the conversation. What is it? I don't know. Your take.
Well, the point where I was like, maybe we should stop talking about this right now is because, I'm the polar opposite. I'm pretty fine with spooky games, and I cannot I'm terrible at spooky movies. Like even the old spooky movies, I okay, this is one of the things that we kind of summarized that it might come down to is that when it's a movie, you are not in control and there's nothing you can do. You find that better because it's like, well, whatever happens, it's out of my control.
Yeah.
In my head, it's, oh shit, I can't do anything. Something's going to happen, which is bad. It's kind of a glass half full, half empty conundrum.
Yeah, and whereas with me, it's like if I'm with games, I think it's that whole. I've been playing games my whole life, so it's that mental transference. When I'm playing the game in my mind, I'm in the game, and so. Whereas, like you said, if I'm watching a movie, it's like, well, it's not me. It's that dumbass who decided to walk down a dark alley, like. Yeah. So I think that's where like my mind makes that distinction.
Yeah, I mean, and I think one other thing which really helps with playing it. I mean, I know people say it's always easier to watch a horror film when there's someone else with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think, particularly with horror games, I find it a lot easier to play horror games if someone's with me, because if someone is there and they're more scared than you are, it naturally makes me feel less scared. Like,
yeah.
Because I'm being the asshole who's swaggering around being like, oh, careful, there could be a spooky ghost in this dustbin. Being that asshole.
I could see that helping.
As opposed to, yeah, if I'm on my own, I'm like, oh shit.
So what?
Spooky ghost in that dustbin.
Probably one of the examples of that. And maybe this is the problem. Is in a lot of those situations, if I'm the one playing the game, I am the person who's more scared. Like, yeah. I mean, I've been the asshole in the room before who was less scared. One of my friends from college, he played, I think it was Dead Space 2, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
And so, big AAA horror video game. And we all, like, when he was doing a playthrough of it, we all went over to his apartment, which was just down the hall from mine, my senior year of college. We'd go down there, watch him play it, get some drinks, and just essentially berate him as he got terrified by the game. So in that situation, yeah. But again, I wasn't the one playing it.
Yeah.
The example I used when we first brought this up was System Shock 2. Big atmospheric horror game. The graphics are dated.
Very old.
Yeah. But even despite that, it still gets to me. Even though like the enemies look like fucking beef jerky monsters, they still like mess with me. They even added a co-op mode. It was a single player game. They added a co-op mode when they released it.
Yeah, we tried to get that working a long time ago. I don't think it really.
Eventually, I got it working with Kevin though.
Yeah.
And this was the reason I was bringing this up. In that example, I was the one who was like actually getting scared and messed with by the game, and he was fine with it.
Yeah, I was playing. In fact, I streamed a little bit of Observer the other day when I had a bit of free time, which was a free game on the Epic Store at some point. And I was like, oh shit, I haven't played this. I've got it downloaded. Let's give it a go.
Observer or Observation?
Observer, I'm pretty sure.
Because there's two games. Observer is like a cyberpunk game. Observation is like this space horror game.
So Observer, and yeah, it's kind of got like a bit of creepiness with like half human, half robot people.
Oh yeah.
And basically, it's a lot like you've seen Blade Runner. No, you haven't, have you?
I have.
Oh, you have the original one.
Yep.
Okay, cool. It's a lot like Blade Runner. You're a detective. You go to a house. There's someone who's been utterly murdered in that house, and you do a bit of detectiving around the place and find some clues. And then when you're leaving, shit gets fucky, and like the lights go out and they start flashing red and sparks coming off the walls and shit. And I was like, oh, finally, like something creepy at last, because I was kind of getting bored of being the detective for a little bit. And I was actually kind of disappointed when something didn't start chasing me. I was like expecting something a lot worse to happen, and it didn't happen.
There are games I've actually not finished because of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is a perfect example. It's a classic game. I wanted to play it. I got through a good chunk of it, and then there's this one mission where I had to go into a mansion, and there's this creepy horror stuff that pops up and like freaks you out. Like literally out the corner of your eye, you'll see something, and then when you turn toward it, it's gone. Like that sort of atmospheric shit, and I literally, it got to me to the point where I just Alt F4'd out of the game and then stopped playing it.
Yeah. Like, that's not one of those things that make you, like, jump out your skin. It's just like, nope, I'm not going down there. Nope.
Yep. One other game that did that I got through because I had got too far in the game to drop it was Bioshock Infinite. For most of that game, it's like this big, fun, swashbuckling, jump around, cool...
Swashbuckling?
Yeah, swashbuckling.
God.
What, am I pronouncing it weird?
Well, you're pronouncing it like, anyway. Like the conversation we were having before we started this podcast. It's swashbuckling, not swashbuckling.
Oh, swashbuckling. I don't know. I've always pronounced it like it has a CH in the front. Swashbuckling. Interesting.
Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, sorry.
Okay. So, whatever. It's that for most of the game. But then randomly almost at the end of the game, there's this just random stealth horror level. And there's this one scene, no enemies in it, but like as you're walking down this creepy hallway, there's no music, there's all these like weird ambient noises. You get halfway down the hallway and an empty like baby carriage just rolls out into the middle of the hallway.
Yeah.
And that freaked me out so much. Like, they'd built up the atmosphere so well to that point. That freaked me out so much, I just ran sprinting down the hallway, firing the revolver, so that there was some noise other than the fucking creepy shit around me.
Jeez. Oh my god. You would not do well in Outlast.
Oh god, no. Not in most of those. Yeah, no. No.
Yeah. I tried playing Bioshock Infinite twice. And I didn't stop because it was scary. I stopped because it kind of bored me, which is weird when you describe Bioshock Infinite, it sounds anything but boring. But maybe it was just too easy difficulty, or maybe I just wasn't very invested in it.
Honestly, just the grapple hook and the zipline stuff was enough to keep me occupied. But if that doesn't do it for you, I could see it getting boring. Because that's like, that is basically the entire game, and if you don't like that, then you're not gonna like the game.
It's like Doom, right? I enjoyed Doom quite a bit, but after the first level, you've basically seen everything there is to see. Yeah, like all the exterminations.
God.
I don't know.
I beat Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal on Nightmare.
Yeah.
And now the DLC's out for Doom Eternal. Anyway, I think we've kind of exhausted what we're going to get out of this topic. We're kind of polar opposites in this regard. It's movies for you, it's games for me, in terms of what actually horrifies or scares. So the place I was going to go to after this is the topic of... because this always comes up around this time of year, and you find out the people who do and don't subscribe to it. The idea of haunted locations and some of the superstitions people have about, like, I don't know, buildings and theaters and homes and stuff.
Yeah, I used to have a... in fact, you know Kate.
Yeah.
Kate's big into that kind of thing. I don't know if she necessarily believes in it. I mean, she does believe in it, but she's not one of the absolute loonies, right?
Yeah. Like one of those people who like, I sense a ghost. Yeah.
Her and one of my other ex-colleagues went to one of these haunted houses in England.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few of them around where I live.
I
apparently,
imagine.
I don't know. It's a very haunted place, apparently. And yeah, they're going around with a group of random people. One of the guys, this was like an older guy.
Yeah.
Like 40s or something, and he was going around trying to antagonize the ghosts by like running into a room and shouting,
Oi!
I can't say that word actually. You ghosts are all beep. Like, I bet you suck beep.
Oh my god! Sorry, I was trying to cough away from the mic, but
yeah, and I think that's hilarious. I would love to see that kind of thing, far more than any,
oh my god.
I don't know. It's just there's too many things that are real in life to worry about without having to worry about ghosts and
Oi,
things.
come out and invite me, you fucking ghosts!
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say the word for a second.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to keep it as PC as possible.
Yeah. But yeah, you can imagine. I was so eager to. We never ended up going as three people.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's funny. I don't remember where this. I think you have to like disclose to people that, like, if somebody has recently died in a house or something like that, or
do you have to? Do you?
I think in the U.S. at least.
Hmm.
And I wonder if that's like based on superstition. Like people, I feel like you'd rather not know.
I think I heard about a house in the US somewhere where if you can stay inside of it for, I think it was like an hour or something, then they will give you like $1,000.
It's, well, there's something, I don't know if it's the same thing. There is like a, what is it? Like this room, it's like the quietest room around, and it's so well soundproof that the decibel level is like negative 160 something, to the point where you can hear your heartbeat in your ears. It's like that quiet, and it like fucks with people. Like it's rare for people to be able to stay in there for more than 10 minutes, let alone an hour. I don't know if that's the same thing you're thinking of though.
I don't know, hang on. Haunted house ward?
There's actually a couple really famous like Halloween spots around where I live. Salem, Massachusetts is a big one because they had the whole Salem witch trials and everything.
Yeah. I just typed in haunted house reward and it comes up with the house. I don't know what. Oh, McCamey Manor.
Okay.
Operates year round, and there is a waiting list of over 24,000 people. The newest iteration of the performance, a 10-hour experience called Desolation, offers a prize of $20,000 for successful completion, but deducts $500 from the prize for every failed challenge or use of profanity.
What? Why use of profanity? What if you want to tell the ghost to fuck off?
Well, exactly. I guess.
I
Wait,
guess.
hang on. But if you start like replacing profane words, like "you jack-a-snipper," does that count?
Yeah. What if you say a normal word in a profane manner?
Yeah.
I love that stuff like that exists. Because, of course, that's why there's a waiting list, because people like you and me hear it, and I hear that, I'm like, I want to do that. I could do that.
The house permits just a handful of patrons to enter each weekend. Guests are not required to pay any entrance fee. Instead, McCamey accepts payment only in dog food for his pet dogs. At the Tennessee location, those aged 21 can get in, or 18 to 20 with parental consent.
Huh.
Oh, there's more than one. One in Alabama.
Wait. 18 to 21 need parental consent. Is there like just tons of booze in the house? Like, I don't know.
18 to 20, I guess it's just that creepy. The tour can last from 4 to 8 hours, and no guest has made it all the way through, despite previously not allowing safe words. So people have like forcefully broken out of the house, I guess.
Weird.
The guests have the option to use... Wait, McCamey says the guests have the option to use one that ends the experience immediately. House operates year-round, and they're... Yeah. Wow, that's pretty cool. Whenever I read these things, I'm like, it can't be that scary.
That's what's going through my mind right now. I'm like, it can't be that bad.
But I mean, if that many people have been like, nope, then it must be.
Yeah, I mean, unless they've got this is my nuclear bunker. I have unshielded plutonium in this room.
Yeah, just pump psychedelics through a couple of the vents and
oh my god. That
put up
reminds me
pictures of Freud.
Not anything that Freud would think you'd be scared of, just Freud himself.
Just himself, yes.
Just like here's his beardy face on a couple walls, and that'll fuck with you.
That beardy face. Interesting stuff though.
I kind of want to do this. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah. The house that I remember originally being, I don't think this is the same one, but it was a house that had all kinds of like trap rooms. That is to say, like doors that have a drop into nothingness kind of thing.
So yeah. Finish your thought, because I just thought of a funny story that I have to tell in this segment.
Well, that was it. There was a really amazing architect, I think, that built it. Go.
I mentioned Salem, Massachusetts earlier, which is because of the Salem witch trials, big Halloween town. I actually have a friend that grew up there, and as a result, he grew up hating Halloween because it was just full of fucking annoying tourists. His town would fill up with them every Halloween. But a few years back, I went there with a couple friends, and we did one of those escape room things. And they were like haunted themed because it was Salem. And the one we did was like a Dracula one. And we had, to solve puzzles to get from room to room. We solved the first room fairly quickly. You have an hour to finish them. And in the next room, you have to solve a whole bunch of puzzles. And it's kind of obvious what you eventually need to get, because there's a Dracula in a coffin. He's got a hole in his chest. You have to find a stake.
Okay.
But that's not spoiling anything. You know that's your objective. You just have to keep solving puzzles to eventually get the stake. My friend Juan, he decides that we're looking for stuff and looking for hints. He steps over like this rope next to the Dracula, and he's like, oh, there's a hole in him, and just sticks his fingers in Dracula's chest, which sets...
Is there a key in there?
No. And it sets off the motion sensor in his chest to say to the people outside that they solved the puzzle, because there's essentially a sensor in there where you should have put the stake through, and that triggers it to go like, hey, you solved the puzzle. We'd only been in there for like 15 minutes. There's no way we could have solved it that fast. So they come in and they're like, oh, hey, congratulations. And then we're like, no, we're not actually done.
That was the world's fastest time. Well done.
It's like, no, we're not done. My friend just fingered Dracula. Oh my god, it was. But yeah, just thinking of.
You'd think they'd have like some kind of light-emitting sensor from the stake
or something. Apparently, it was a little lower budget than that. It was just a normal sensor that would detect if something was stuck in Dracula's chest.
Yeah.
No, they just didn't assume that he would fucking stick his fingers in there.
Oh my god.
I mean, we were really exploring every option. Oh.
I mean, that's fair enough. If you see a gross hole in a challenge room, chances are there's probably something in it.
He has a bad history with escape room challenges. He also broke one that we went to.
Yeah.
Like, there was this little, it was like a Aztec themed one, and there was this little stone idol. Well, it's supposed to be stone. It was made of foam. Styrofoam.
Yeah.
And it was sitting on this pedestal, and what you're supposed to do is fiddle around with the pedestal, and it'll eventually shine a light out of the statue. He goes like, oh, look, a statue, and just tries to pick it up off the platform and rips it in half. Because this is made out of styrofoam. So he broke it.
Oh my god. This first third of the Halloween podcast is
surprisingly jolly.
It's very Yeah.
Use your words.
I can't use words. I need my coffee. Yes. What was the topic again?
We were just talking about haunted shit and supernatural,
Right.
whether or not people believe in it. Like, because that law I was talking about that you have to disclose if somebody died in the house.
Right. Yeah.
Like that probably goes back to people being superstitious about I don't want to live in a haunted house or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand someone not wanting to, but then I can also understand, like a student who's not got the most money being like, oh, sweet, a cheaper house because someone died
somebody
here. not
died
long
in there.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been playing Phasmophobia, as you know.
Yep.
And honestly, the ghosts in that are just so inconsiderate. Like,
Oh, that's the worst problem.
it's just the worst. Like, they, when you want them to show up, they never show up. And then when you don't want them to show up, they slam doors in your face and you just can't get out.
You're just making them sound like rude roommates.
They're just wankers, alright? I do all my stuff, I put all the stuff out to capture them, I've got the books they can write in case they get bored and they can do a little doodle. I've got the EMF reader, I've got the spirit box to communicate with them, which never fucking works, by the way. It's never below 10 degrees, so I never get that clue. What else? They never step in the salt piles, because they just TP to a random part of the bloody room. They don't dirty the sink water, which I don't even understand the logic behind that. It's just a goddamn nightmare. And so I'm there, sitting in the middle of a room with all this paraphernalia about me, standing on top of a goddamn crucifix with a camera out, just sitting there waiting.
I'm trying really hard not to just laugh into the mic.
And I've been playing with Cool Seed.
Yeah, yep.
And she's a massive wuss, alright? I'm sorry if you're listening to this. No, I'm not sorry if you're listening to this. Screw you, you never came in and helped. So she was standing outside of the house, looking through one of the windows at me, and she was the creepiest fucking thing, alright? Because every so often the ghost would appear in the room, and I could see the ghost because my sanitary
meter.
Game,
You're so
I was
dirty.
slowly shitting myself more and more. No. In real life, sanity levels very fine. I was not even slightly spooked. In game, the sanity levels were dropping.
Yeah.
And the ghost appeared in the room with me, and it was so funny because I was just staring at a wall, and then the ghost TP'd to that wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I could see the ghost where it had moved from, so it just sonic zoomed into a wall face first, and it was half jibbed in and out of it. And so I was just laughing my ass off while my character went slowly more insane. I was standing on the crucifix, so I was like, fuck you can't do shit to me. And it wasn't moving towards me. I was trying to get it to hunt me. So I was calling it all kinds of names. I was calling it a creepy vegan redneck or something, and taunting it. And yeah, I even started creeping up behind it with in the crouched position. I feel like it was more afraid of me. Yeah, and Core and the other one person we were playing with refused to come in the house at any point. And then eventually, when I was like, okay, fuck it, it's not hunting me, I'm going to leave the house now. And the moment I step into the hallway, all the doors lock and it just eats my face.
I just the way you describe the ghost in that game, it really just sounds like, you've got a dick for a roommate instead of a haunting.
I mean, I feel like I was more of a dick to it because it's the thing that supposedly lives there.
Oh,
but also the names are so vanilla. I don't know, John Stevens. Ooh, John Stevens, very scary. I don't know, it should be Dracule Vincent or something.
Some kind of cool, like, badass ghost name.
But no, you're not walking around like... Okay, you walk around asylums occasionally.
Can you imagine
But
how
most of the
much
time
it
it's just...
would suck if, like, you were actually being haunted and you found out you were being haunted by someone as boring as John Stevens?
Exactly. Like, what have I done to them? Christ. Maybe I'll get haunted by one of them now that I've mocked their name on.
It's like,
on a
oh
podcast.
no, I'm being haunted by John Stevens. He's wearing a sweater vest and he's gonna do my taxes.
Not Equestrian Johnson. I hear he has a massive... No.
God. Alright, on that note, you know what? I think we've got as much as we can out of the haunting topics.
Yeah. It's just dumb.
Yeah. Oh my god. I gotta compose myself. Yeah. So I think we'll call it there for segment 1. Thank you for listening, and we will be back soon with segment 2, which will be haunted media this time around.